So, fresh grass, fresh wild meadow plants, fresh herbs, all wonderful. Please, please, please bear in mind we do have RHD2 all the way across the country now. It's very, very stable outside a dead rabbit. It can stay there for a great deal longer than the rabbit carcass will stay there. So if you are going to pick wild plants or wild grass from areas where there are wild rabbits, there will be RHD2 kicking around. So you need to make sure that the rabbits are vaccinated, and you need to be advising owners that even the best vaccine isn't going to stop every single case of disease. So yes, I do think it's a good idea. Ideally, you want to be picking grass from areas where there aren't wild rabbits, like a garden. Rabbits do appear to be very good at not poisoning themselves. So you do see occasional toxicity from wild plants, but it's been ages since I've seen the case. They seem to be quite good at picking up those bitter flavours. Okay, and I just put that picture in there because I think it looks really tasty. So when we're thinking about feeding, in the UK at least, that's what a wild rabbit is eating. It's eating probably 10 or 20 different kinds of wild grass and clovers and buttercups and dandelions and a whole bunch of other things. And this is why you want to be including other things in a caged or domesticated rabbit's diet. So ball of hay about the same size as the rabbit, best quality hay you can find, small handful of mixed leafy green vegetables. So for a sort of 1.5 to 2 kilo rabbit, leafy green veg about that much. That's what we're looking for. And leafy greens, not root vegetables. So carrot is not what a rabbit's going to be getting in the wild. Carrot tops is what a rabbit's going to be getting in the wild. Why don't we want to be giving carrots? Because it's starch. That's what the human will eat. But that's the starch storage organ for the plant. So again, we're dumping starch into the cecum and we're growing pockets of the bugs that we don't want. Whereas leafy green vegetables have got higher levels of vitamins than the grass has got, so you're giving that rabbit a vitamin tablet, but you're not dumping excess starch down into the stomach. Some rabbits can't cope with green vegetables, and I've got quite a few that one piece of cabbage that big is going to send it with the runs for about a week afterwards. So when you're introducing new vegetables, introduce them small amounts at a time for about a week, make sure that they can cope with them, and then put them in the diet. And if you're seeing rabbits with cecotroph problems coming in and nothing else wrong with them, the first thing that I start to do is drop the pellet levels down, drop the vegetable levels down until they get better, and they pretty much always get better. Okay. And then 1 egg cupful, not huge bowl, of extruded rabbit pellets. There's 2 good companies. We've got Supreme Science and we've got Excel, and I think they're both good companies. Please bear in mind that Supreme Science do sponsor some of our teaching, so I have a little bit of bias there. But I think in terms of vitamin content, mineral content and balance, they're both acceptable things. My preference is Supreme just purely because they were the first company to say this is a supplement, not a food, and make it very, very clear on their packaging that it wasn't a rabbit food. If you've got owners on the Excel, the green one, that's fine, but I tend to find that the recommended levels are a little bit higher than they should be. So you're talking about a spoonful or an egg cup for a normal domestic sized rabbit, and tell owners it's a vitamin tablet. So what's in the garden is their food, the vegetables and the pellets are vitamin supplements and no more. And again, I've got a bunch of rabbits that have lived long, healthy, happy lives without pellets and without vegetables, because every time we stuck those in the diet, it gave them the runs. So they're useful, they're sensible, because these animals are not on a complete diet that they were getting in the wild, but there will be cases where you don't need to have those going in. Is that relevant to anaesthesia? Yes, it is. It's extremely relevant to anaesthesia. And treats. Everyone wants to give their animals treats, that's fine. Get them to give treats that their animal will be getting naturally. So dried herbs, really, really, really useful for getting animals to eat after surgery. The flavour seems to be intensified. Fresh herbs, really useful. Fresh greens. So if you've got a garden at the practice, don't be too hot on the lawn mowing and go out and pick dandelions. Dandelions are great for getting rabbits eating after surgery, both the flowers and the leaves. Go a little bit easy on the fresh grown grass. A lot of owners do this, but when grass first starts to grow, there's a much higher starch concentration in the leaves, and that can be a little bit on the rich side for the rabbits. And certainly I'd be careful about that in terms of anaesthetic recovery. So maybe a few strands of nice, fresh, wet grass from the garden, they love that, but don't put huge stacks of it in there. Go for the hay. It'll be better for them after surgery.